introduction to using BreakOSC on the iPhone or iPad. This is the settings screens, so you'll need to input your host IP. This is the IP, of course, of the device you're using. So if it's a computer, write in your IP address. You can look for it in your system settings. Likewise, the port number that the device is listening to, and number of balls. So as you play, you're going to lose your balls, and you're going to need to either set a high number or a low number depending on how you want to work this into your set. Level sequence we're going to talk about shortly. Let's go into this OSC tab. These are all the events that can happen in the game. So the ball is moving, the ball is lost, and then you have your bricks that are hit of different colors, of course. The paddle movement, the paddle is hit. And then the walls, left, right, and top, are hit. Now, depending on the event, they'll either have one or two messages that are being sent. For instance, the ball event has two messages, one for the X value, one for the Y value. So you can think of that as a XY, just a pad, for instance, like a chaos pad. You have an XY value. You're moving your finger around. Same thing here. The ball is moving around. That can be your filter cutoff in your resonance, for instance. Ball is lost. Well, this happens at the bottom of the screen, so it's just one value, the X. So for each of these events, you can set the exact message that will be sent. This is a default message, and you can also set the value. Now, just bear in mind, this is more advanced stuff. If you're using Oscillator, if you're using, just basically any software that's getting OSC messages, most of the time it's expecting a value between 0 and 1. So don't change this unless you're doing your own stuff. You're working with Bizil, maybe you're working with Pure Data or Max, and you know what you're doing. You might want to change. There are reasons why you might want to change these, but otherwise, just leave them as they are, and it's going to work for you. This third tab here is our level designer. So if I were to click on this classic level that comes with the game, you'll see how it looks. And there's a bunch of empty cells here. These grayed out cells here are empty. So I can pick a color and I can draw on it. Here, pretty easy. I could change the name here. Let's give it a new name, and I can save it. And there, now it appears in my list of levels. I can also create one from scratch. I get this nice default name, and you can just draw straight into the app, save it, and here's my new level. Now, as you're editing your levels, you might want to keep a couple things in mind. If your yellows are doing one thing and then you have reds that are doing another thing, well, you might want to play around with that so that you have reds happening in the beginning, in the middle, at the end. You can have some kind of continuity of messages that are happening. Think about that. You can compose with this app as well as with your regular notation and whatever else you're using to create music. This can be part of that. You can compose with this. You can plan out things. Anyways, just an idea. Once you have a couple levels, you can go into this tab now, level sequence, and this is basically just a list of levels. It's going to start with one. It's going to go all the way to the end. However many there are. Right now, there's only one. I can change it. I can just click on that, and I can say I want classic one, that is. And then I just want to add a new level. Let's put this new one, and we'll repeat it. And I don't know. Let's put classic again at the end. And this is your list. You can save that, and as long as you have balls, and it's just going to go through this list. When it reaches the end, that's it. It ends. So this can be your set list. This can be one composition going through a bunch of different levels, and if you can edit this list, like I said, by just by clicking on it and picking a new level, or you can swipe from left to right, just like in your emails, and delete. So the level is still there. Like if you go back into the level designer, the level still exists. We just took it out of the sequence. So this is your set list, and we just took it out. Alright, so once you have everything set up, you can hit play, and we can actually play this game. As soon as you move the paddle, it's gonna launch the ball. So bear in mind this is on the iPhone simulator, so I can do a nice screen capture. It doesn't behave exactly like it would on the actual device. Just a couple quirks, mostly due with the user interface, but also the speed the ball is moving at. See, that's what I'm talking about. So as I'm moving here, the ball touches the paddle moves, the ball moves, the bricks are being hit, and OSC messages are being sent. So that's it. This is just the basic setup. I'm going to do a more in-depth video about how to use this to actually make music. So stay tuned for that. Cheers.